Oda's a fucking troll, yo. I gotta say that right now. Oda is such a troll. Oda is such a troll. One Piece chapter 905. The last page, you got Sabo saying, hey, be at ease, King Stelly. It's okay. You got nothing to worry about. Sabo's just standing there. Sabo's standing there in the cut in plain sight. In plain sight, yo. Oh, man. Yo, that means some time passed. Oh, my God. Yo. Matter of fact, I think they said it was like 2 days before the reverie. So they came up with their plan, and now they're there. Oh, my God. Sabo get points for that, man. In plain sight, he's traveled with his stepbrother. In plain sight. In plain sight. That is so bold. That is so bold right there, man. Like, Sabo's like, I can't get showed up by little brother. Little brother made himself famous like that. Okay. He took down one of the 4 emperors. That's some G shit right there. But you know what? I'm about to come in harder. I'm about to mess this whole reverie up. Man, they making some waves right now. Like, Morgan's called it. He said, hey, that Kingdom of Gao, like, they have produced some real badasses when you think about it. Take Garp out of it. They got the revolutionary leader in Dragon. They got Fire Fist Ace. They got Sabo, the revolutionaries, and they got Monkey D. Luffy. This is pretty special. They cut from a different cloth right there. And just speaking of that whole thing right there about them being cut from a different cloth, like, everybody's like walking on pins and needles because of the celestial dragons. Like, I remember when we got introduced to some folks back in Sayabodi, and like you saw like the exploding collars around the necks and everything. Like, man, these folks are savages. Like, if you look at them wrong, you could be killed, right? Luffy walked up and decked one of them like it wasn't nothing. Okay, but Garp, now we know where Luffy got that from. Garp's like, wait, Stelly, you want to be one of those scumbags? Like, why would you want to lower yourself to something like that? It really shows you a lot about Garp. Even though he serves the world government or served the world government, even though he did something like that, even he knew that the celestial dragons wasn't shit. So I like that right there, because it just shows you that, Garp, and while he had to kind of swallow his pride a little bit, he never discarded his values. I think that's interesting. And I can definitely say that because, for me, like, I've worked for politicians that I didn't necessarily agree with. Them, but I still kind of bit my tongue and continued to collect a paycheck and, kind of waited my time out. So I thought that was interesting right there, that Garp is doing some shit like that. So I thought that was interesting. Now, taking things a step further, I like how Oda pays off a lot of different things in this chapter. So one of the very first things we pay off is like Shirahoshi and the fishmen. They're finally there. They're finally about to take their mark and about to make good on the promise that they got to be able to attend the reverie. And so you get this moment right here where Shirahoshi is looking and says, Luffy's grandfather, is that a tree? Is that what I've always heard about? Is that a forest? And it's because if I'm not mistaken, Luffy said that he would walk with her through the forest. So I thought it was cool to see that right there. I like how, you see her experiencing so many things for the first time. Like, she's never been that high up before. She's getting to see the sun. She's getting to see the birds. Like, I like how you just see that childlike innocence. And I also like how everybody's like, and if there was a try not to fap challenge, everybody failed. Everybody failed because there was so much nutter butter being spilled when it comes to Shirahoshi. There was so much nutter butter being spilled because everybody had their lube out when she started walking. And even Garp, right? Like, Oda ain't slick, right? Oda ain't slick. When Garp is talking, he's like, plus she's huge. It ain't just because she's tall. He's talking about the boobs too, right? But Neptune's like, why is everybody so infatuated with my daughter? And that's when we find out that everybody's like, yo, the mermaid princess, her beauty's supposed to rival Boa Hancock. And it's just like, you guys know how I feel. I don't really care for Boa Hancock. Like, at first, I was a little thirsty at first. I ain't gonna front. I was a little thirsty. But then she started kicking puppies and shit. And I don't fuck with that. I like, Boa Hancock became worse than trash for me. She became worse than trash to me at that moment. I don't care what she do. She could save Luffy from the brink of death. She worse than trash to me. So I thought it was cool to see Shirahoshi kind of get, you know, built up like that. You know, like it had been mentioned in the past that, you know, she was supposed to be beautiful, but now it's just like, oh wow, like Boa Hancock's supposed to be the most beautiful woman on earth. Shirahoshi's supposed to rival it. And now that people can see her, you know, Boa Hancock might be in more trouble. And we already know that Boa Hancock's in trouble anyway, because Oda's setting it up where Boa Hancock, her reason for being one of these 7 warlords, is no longer going to be there, because it was supposed to be to protect her people. We got this moment where Fujitora shows up, and he's having a conversation with the admiral, and he's like, you know, Vegapunk's creation is really something deadly. We no longer need the 7 warlords. We no longer need that system, which means the 7 warlords are basically just going to be pirates now, which means that Boa Hancock's Amazon Lily, all of a sudden, that place can get raided. So that's interesting. That's interesting that Oda's actually moving forward with that. I didn't think that Oda was actually going to go forward with that, because, you know, Fujitora kind of made it clear that he planned to shake things up. And by being here at the Reverie, he's definitely moving on that spot there. And I just got to say, you know, like, just being upfront with you, Oda's artwork in this chapter, like, Oda stepped it up, man. From the reaction where Stelly looks like he's seen a ghost, where all of a sudden Neptune picks him up and he thought he was a building, and the way that he was shaking and his body was shaded out on his face, the way that, you know, he's crying tears when Garp doesn't recognize him. I thought all that was beautiful. I also thought, like, the double page spread where you see Shirahoshi and them being lifted up into the air. I thought that was beautiful. Like, this was just a beautifully drawn chapter. This was a beautifully drawn chapter. I have to say, hands down, my favorite panel in this chapter is going to be that panel towards the end where you have Shirahoshi, where she's saying, Father, if it can come true, I would like to live on the surface. I want to show everyone in our kingdom this world of the sun. Like, the way that she's drawn there with the tears of joy in her eyes, the way she's shaking, like the way that everything about that panel is just beautiful. I know some of you guys have told me in the past, like, man, you just like her because she's a mermaid version of Nami. Well, I just want to counter back with that, goddammit. We ain't never seen no mermaid version of Nico Robin. You know what I mean? We ain't never seen nothing like that. We saw with Nami, though. So, you know, just back up for a second. Put some respect on Best Girl's name. And Best Girl number 2 right there, Shirahoshi. You know, I might need to watch out. FBI might be coming for me, because, you know, Shirahoshi kind of young. But yo, man, I gotta say though, for real, that's a really beautifully drawn panel. That is really beautifully drawn. I gotta get Oda props on that. So my chapter question to you guys, on the real, is, do you guys think that King Neptune is in over his head? Because he made that promise to Shirahoshi that we can ask for fishermen to be able to live on the land. I don't think he's going to be able to cash that in. I really don't, because fishermen have a lot of prejudice. I don't think he's going to be able to cash that in. Let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below. But as always, guys, if you like anything I had to say, don't forget to comment, rate, subscribe, and share. Thank you so much for watching to the end. Have an awesome day, guys.